Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. Quarantine Concert Series, baby. I'm your host, Kavir Segal, coming to you live from Atlanta. We've been in the news recently. It's been, protests all around the United States, including here in Atlanta. And of course, our heart goes out to all the injustice that we're seeing across the country. Our hearts go out to the people affected. And we hope that, peace will be restored here in Atlanta and all the cities across America. So I wanted to acknowledge that up front, that I'm here. And thanks everyone for all the emails you've been sending. Our family's safe. I'm actually coming to you live from my parents' place. My parents are taking a nap. My mom, of course, secretly watches. So hi, Mom. I need all the internet speed. So if you could kindly you can watch too, of course. So I also want to say this is concert number 96, and we're sort of, forging ahead. We're going to be retiring this concert series after the 100th show. That's going to be a Monday evening. So people have been asking me, what are you going to do? Well, we have rented a boat. We went down to the dock. We put down a down deposit of our hopes and dreams. And that's the boat that we rented right there. And that's Maui Fishing up top. We're going in the direction of Hawaii, obviously. Maui is the name of their dog, Sandra and Camilo's dogs. And of course, Sandra is looking out into the distance, telling us where to go. Camilo is always looking straight ahead. He's derecha. Just, let's do it. And then there's me in the back fishing. I'm always in the rear trying to get the trout. Catch and release. I respect all the vegetarians here, catch and release. Okay, so we're going to go fishing after a while. We're going to go on retirement. I want to thank everyone for their love and support throughout this broadcast. We obviously want your ideas. We've been thinking about maybe we retire this format of the show. Maybe we bring it back with a more, sane cadence, not every day, but there's all kinds of ideas we are looking at. We want your ideas, so send them to us, and we will duly note them. One idea we've been having is, we do a sound check 90 minutes before the show, and sometimes we have to wait for the artist, and not this time, of course, but sometimes we do. And Camilo and I have had staring contests, right? So we were thinking about just doing a show of staring contests. This is Camilo versus me, and he wins most of the time. You can tell he is undisputed champion of the staring contest. I could just challenge people to staring contests, and I would show up in your Facebook feed like this. All right, I don't want to spook anyone. Could also do a show just of puppets interviewing musicians. There's a Center for the Puppetry Arts down here in Atlanta, so maybe I could reach out to them and have puppets interviewing musicians. That might be cool, right? Or even like claymation. Could do claymation as well. So I think we have a claymation slide in there. So there's all kinds of things we could do. So let us know what you want. Oh, there's the claymation. That's me actually in claymation. That's my rendering in claymation. Very even tone, very even skin tone hanging out on the desk. All right. By now, you know what we're doing here. We're going through a pandemic. Most of the gigs have gone away. Gigs have been canceled in Carnegie Hall into 2021. Even here in Atlanta, gigs have been canceled throughout the season. So it's tough for creative professionals. A lot of international tours are canceled. This may be the norm because it's going to be a while until we can gather in large audiences, even though parts of the economy here in the US are opening up. I recently wrote an op-ed called Become a Patron of the Arts to get the US economy back in tune. The arts in the US contribute, I think it's 5% of the U.S. economy comes from the creative sector. Obviously, that includes movies and theaters, but independent artists are part of this. And so it's important to become a patron. How can you support artists? I have some very specific ways. I mean, everyone has a birthday, right? So reach out to an artist. Maybe you can hire one to do a private Zoom for you. You want to learn a new instrument. You can support and give to charity that are helping freelance musicians. There's stream the music, buy the merchandise. There's always been a symbiotic link between artists and patrons. And I think we need to sort of honor that and make sure that the symbiotic relationship continues. So if you love music, reach out to your favorite musician. See if you can be a patron. All right. So one of the charities that we are really grateful for is Arturo O'Farrell's charity. It's called the Afro-Latin Jazz Alliance. He is raising $100,000 to support independent artists in the New York area. They're about halfway there. So if you have the means, of course, donate to him, his organization, and they will allocate to freelance musicians in the arts in New York area. I want to thank the folks at All About Jazz, who simulcast a lot of these concerts. And it's their 25th anniversary. So a lot of great journalism happening at All About Jazz. I appreciate the partnership we've had. Michael Ritchie, who started it. Thanks for all that you do for the jazz ecosystem. All right. We are also doing conversations with filmmakers in the morning. I do conversations, like all the film festivals are canceled too. Tribeca was canceled. The Cannes Film Festival was canceled. South by Southwest. So these are conversations with filmmakers that I have in the morning, 10:30 or 11 a.m. Eastern. This is Sammy Khan. He's an Academy Award nominee. His new movie is called The Last Out. It just won the special jury mention at the South by Southwest Festival in 2020. So I just made my first movie and I was so excited about it. And all the festivals are canceled. So it's hard to get distribution. It's hard to get, the sales agent. So hopefully these are the movies that are going to be on Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, all the places in the coming weeks and months ahead. All right. So the word of the day. All right. There will be a pop quiz. As you know, we always do a music word of the day. There'll be a pop quiz. So if you can tell me what the word of the day is, at the end of the show, you will get a prize. What is the prize? A puppy giving you a trophy. That is the prize. You want it. And the artist today, his name begins with an A-L or A. And this word is inspired. We always have the word of the day inspired by the first letter of the artist. So here's the word of the day, alba. And it's an Italian word. And the repertory of the troubadours and the trouvères, a song dealing with a lover's mourning, departing from his beloved after an illicit tryst. Interesting. I'm not sure there'll be much. I don't think there'll be an alba performance today, but we will see. So alba, the word of the day. All right. We're everywhere. Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, Cracker, very delicious. LinkedIn, over 40 million people have lost their jobs in America because of the pandemic. If you're looking for a job on LinkedIn, stay with us. We want to keep you motivated and encourage you to go crush your job search. And I think you're going to love this show in particular. We're also on Periscope and Twitch. We're everywhere. Don't leave home without us. All right. So moving on now for the best part of the show. We're going to meet the incredible artist. This artist really is fantastic. The word genius is sometimes overused. This is the case now. That he truly inhabits the word genius. He's a maestro of the highest order. You're going to be totally blown away. And I know many of you know who he is already, but if you're meeting him for the first time, prepared to get your seatbelt on. All right. So an acclaimed guitarist, multi-instrumentalist, producer, composer, arranger, living in Spain. He tours with the world of Hans Zimmer. Let's put that slide back up on the screen. Sandra, if we want people to see it. He's been featured on all kinds of press. He has a new release out, which we're going to talk about. Please welcome to the show, the incredible maestro, virtuoso, genius, Amir John Haddad. Hola.
Hey, hi Kabir. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Tell everyone where you're broadcasting from today.
Well, I live in Spain, and there's a beautiful city down south in Andalusia, which is called Malaga, and many people know that. And I just moved here a year ago, and it's great. It's somehow a little bit like California. You have those hills and that dry, sunny weather, and close to the Mediterranean Sea. It's not to the Pacific, but it's close to the beach, so it's really beautiful.
It is beautiful. And I've been there. There's the Picasso Museum there, right?
Yeah, the Picasso Museum is here, and there's many very interesting spots in the city. There's a big old castle, like the Oriental reminiscence of the Moorish people and the Arabs. There's a huge castle, beautiful, and it's just the old town, that narrow streets and those shops, and it's just beautiful. Great food, great weather. People are very happy. One of the happiest people in Spain. So people smile a lot here. That's really nice.
I bet they're happier that you're there and bringing beautiful music to the region. I'm in Atlanta. Obviously, you're in Malaga. Everyone who's watching, tell us where you're watching from. I want to tell the maestro where his music is reverberating. And so we want to tell him where extra points for counties. You tell city, state, country, and extra point for counties because we want to learn the counties of the world. Tell me first, how has the quarantine affected you? What did you have lined up that you just had to cancel or postpone?
Well, I had several concerts in Germany. Then there was a guitar festival in Istanbul, and so on. And then, of course, many of my live presential workshops where I go, well, I teach, um, like I do those guitar camps. I should have been right now doing this for 2 weeks, and the whole projection for the whole year. I released the album the 28th of February, my last album, and I managed to do 1 week of promotion on TV and national radio here in Spain, and of course that was cut down somehow. And the point is, first everybody I guess was in shock, in the sense of what shall we do? And the second thought was, okay, that will last for 2 or 3 months, but then you'll figure out that this is something that will, as you said in your introduction, this will last for a longer time. So you really have to start readjusting yourself very fast and use all kinds of platforms and social media, like the internet actually becomes more important for musicians in that case, more than ever. And you have to find that balance between your former life, the daily routine you have, and also the way you want to engage from now on with your fans, with your friends, with people who follow you, and find new ways of delivering and selling your music and get it out there on different platforms and just collaborate with people like you. For me, it's a huge pleasure. I mean, you've been in the music business for so many years, and I followed a little bit of what you've done, and it's really remarkable. So congratulations for everything you've done, and it's a
Thank you,
big
sir.
honor just to connect here and meet a new friend and
Yeah.
maybe meet so many other friends through
Yes.
that through
Some of the
this
places that are
program.
tuning in, we have Salado, Texas. We
Okay.
have New Jersey. Um, Richard is in Bell County, by the way. I know you were wondering, Maestro. Shambu is in West Hampton, New York. Suffolk County on Long Island. Good job for counties. I want to ask you, how do you spend your days? Like, is there a routine? Because it can be easy to fall into a rut. Do you structure? Do you wake up at the same time? Do you wake up at is there a cup of coffee involved? Like, do you practice? What is one day like in a life of Elamir quarantine?
Well, quarantine has been the first days has been only following news and different updates, and eventually after 10 days, I said, get rid of that. Get away from that news feed, which didn't really help me to understand more or just to engage into things that I was into before. And so what I did is I started to research on things that I always wanted to do and that I always wanted to, like the online things, sessions online, teaching online, preparing my online programs, my guitar mentorings, things like that. Things I had always had left aside because due to my very heavy touring schedule, which I like touring, but somehow you also realize that touring is not everything. So besides touring, whenever there is a calm moment, you have to focus on other things. And so far, it has been only recordings, but now I've been doing this as well. And my routines, I'm not that much of a routine guy, but I do have a lot of things to do always. And so I wake up pretty early. I don't sleep that long into the day. And I wake up early. I like to see that moment. Not, sunrise maybe, but a little bit after sunrise. It can be between 7, 8, maximum 9 on days I really like, say, well, sleep a little bit longer. But my days have been shooting videos, teaching classes, playing all my instruments. You have to stay in shape and kind of go through them and give them energy. Otherwise, they will leave you somehow. And basically, I kind of like to go with the flow. I'm mentally always connected to what I'm doing, but not necessarily I'm playing, but I'm still connected to my playing. That's this thing. As a musician or as a creative person, you always seeds your brain with information and with things you want to come up with. And eventually, I've been writing down things so I can work on them later. Because if you have a lot of time, like in lockdown, it seems I got busier than ever. And probably you too. You're preparing so many things, and that's funny. That's a controversy to think that word has stopped, but we keep continuing doing our thing, and that was the most important thing. Doing things I like, whether it's cooking, whether it's going out. I live on the countryside, so I'm very connected to nature. I have two huge dogs, and and whatsoever, and all my instruments, and I've been in
Hmm.
remote sessions for hunts lately, and recording sessions. So it's very interesting. I try to keep it very, very diverse.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Well, I have a lot of questions for you. We'll ask you some questions on the other side of your first performance. And by the way, everyone watching, if you have a question for the maestro, please drop a comment and I'll ask it and try to get him to opine to the questions, los preguntas. I can practice my Spanish.
Yeah.
So what would you like to begin your performance with today?
Well, I prepared some songs, on the flamenco guitar, the bouzouki, the oud, which is going to be an electric oud, and the electric guitar. These are somehow instruments, my basic instruments that I play many times live or with different projects, and with the ones I've been recording. So there's one song, and particularly there's one. The first song is of my latest album, Andalusia, which is a tribute to the province, to the south of Spain, and to all those years of inspiration for me. Like since I was 8 years old, I've been coming here to Spain, and that's also a big connection for me with the flamenco. And it's called Temple de Granada, and temple in Spanish means like temper, the way a person is, the way they feel inside and the way they behave. And Granada has that compared to other cities. They're very vivid, and everything goes out. They're more introspective, and they have a different pace of life, right? So with that piece, I wanted to make a tribute to Granada and to one of the big maestros of the Habichuela family, who was called Juan Habichuela, and that's the first tune I would play.
Beautiful. Vamos.
Okay, let's go. I'm going to take this off, and I'll be with you in a sec. Just prepare this too.
Wow, so good, so good, so good. Wow.
Nice one. I enjoyed it very much. Yeah, I love it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'll put some of this praise up on the screen here. Masterful.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
As you know, if you're
I'm
watching at home, I
absolutely
will translate the emojis into real life. So, Maxime, let's do this. Clap, 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 clap.
clap.
Corazon, corazon, corazon,
Encore.
corazon. Clap, 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 clap. And we have Rosa. Clap. She's panning the applause.
Rosa Eva, I know her
Yeah.
from Valladolid, Spain.
A lot of love for you, my friend. That was beautiful. Very beautiful. A lot of questions coming in. So I'll just convey them. Um, One question here is what kind of nice sounding guitar? What make is it? Asked Shirley.
Yeah, this guitar, I'm gonna step back a little bit. This is my signature flamenco guitar. And these guitars I built by a guy called Jose Salinas. He's a very dear friend of mine, an amazing luthier. And these guitars in here, they have the etiquette, and then there's my name in there, Modelo El Amir. And this particular guitar is cedar top and beautiful cypress wood. And I've been using this now for 2 years with a Hans Zimmer show. And of course, I had to power it for the concerts, but it's an amazing sound. And right now, it's only sounding through a little acoustic amp. And there you go. It's really amazing. He does amazing guitar, so maybe you want to check him out, and you can get in touch with me on my social media.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Tell us about Andalusia, the album itself, and the production process, the songs on there. Walk us through why you wanted to pay homage to Andalusia and how you did it.
Okay, Andalusia has been a part of the world that has been and part of my life since I've been 8 years old. My parents would go there for summer vacations, and that way I was really exposed also to the flamenco and to the gypsy life and the people in Andalusia and to the music, besides from what I would hear at home because my parents would listen a lot to flamenco. So that was a big influence. And when I moved to Spain, I came to Spain in 1997, and I went to Jerez de la Frontera, which is in the south as well. And that's how my career started somehow. Of course, I had been playing since I was 6 or 7 years old, but then when I was 20, 21, I moved to Jerez, and I continued to learn with maestros, with guitar gurus, all private classes. I never attended any academy. It was all like in India, you go to some master and you just do it, and you just hang out with him, and you become his. Eventually, you become his disciple and his friend. He becomes like an uncle. It's a beautiful interaction, and so I have been in Spain now for over 20 years, and I've been exposed to Andalusia for over 30 years. And I just wanted to give back to that province something that I've always felt, the love and respect and devotion I felt to that province and to that music. And also to the 3 decades of guitar, amazing flamenco guitar that I had been exposed to and I had experienced as a player myself. So all these elements came together, and I started composing maybe 3 years ago, more or less. And I started to record my first the solo tunes. I recorded them in Madrid. I still was living at the time in Madrid, so I went into the studio of a dear friend of mine, and we recorded the solo tunes. And then I had to stop that recording process because I was called up by Paco de Lucia's nephew, who is called Jose Maria Bandera. He's a great guitarist, and he's been on tour many years back in the days with Paco. And so he called me, but he said, I'm doing this project called Canción Andaluza, which is Paco de Lucia's posthumous album, which he never could perform live. So his nephew said, I want to do those tracks live, and they were very tough. Some of them had many layers, guitar layers, like 9 to 10 tracks on each song. And so we both sat down and we listened to the material, and we practiced it, and it was an amazing thing. So that took a lot of time, and then I devoted myself to that project for a while. And last year, I decided, I have to continue my own project. You just can't leave them in a shelf. And then just right before going on tour in November, during the last summer, I prepared all the new material. And some of it, even I created on the spot in front of the mic, some of the parts of some songs. That's something I like to do as well. I always like to take risks. It's not about composing something fully because there is always something in front of a mic, at least in my case, because I'm not afraid of a mic. I don't sit in a studio like, oh, what's going to happen? No, this is something just like, it's like a live situation for me. I have a great sound, but there's no pressure because I know I can work on things. But then what I do, I play many of my parts of a song. I play large parts of a song. I don't play little bits and glue them together. I would play a whole section, and if I didn't like that, I would repeat that whole section and make the correction I need while I play, right? And then when you get those four parts of a piece together, it seems when you listen to it, it breathes. It sounds like you're playing it, live straight into the mic. And this is how I play live. I don't play so differently live from a studio situation. I always try to have the best sound as I can and play relaxed and play beautiful, clean, and so that's what I do. I just like to take risks, but I also am very careful about what I do, of course.
Yeah, I hear you. I want everyone who's tuning in to go to Amir's website. There it is right there. Bookmark his website if you can, and subscribe to him on Spotify and all the streaming services so you get notified on all of the great music. What would you like to perform next for us?
So I have another piece, which is from my album before that, which was released 2014, I think. So that was a big gap, between 14 and 20. But as I said, I was involved in so many projects that it was really difficult for me to record. And before I play this next song, I just want to say, for me, recording an album has never been only the business part of it, in the sense of every year and a half, or 2 years, get a new album. I allowed myself to follow Paco de Lucia's example, in the sense of make music whenever you have something new to tell, or whenever you feel you want to communicate something. And meanwhile, you can collaborate, record on other songs, other albums. So that's what I've been doing. That's maybe why this gap happened now. So this song is a farruca. It's a very traditional song, and it's a composition of mine. It's called Recuerdos. Recuerdos means in Spanish memories, and memories, why? Because this song is a tribute, dedicated to the great and late maestro Enrique de Melchor. He was one of the biggest flamenco guitarists in Spain, and he was one of my teachers as well, and I got to perform with him eventually in one of his concerts, and he's shown me so much respect and so much good vibe, and he would, just amazing. Those big guys, those big geniuses, they treat you really on a different level, and that is beautiful. So this song is a tribute for him. It's a very melancholic song. It's beautiful.
By Castanets.
Oh yeah, that is cool. That's your
Really,
merchant.
really good, really good, really good. A lot of love. Wow, that was so beautiful. I I almost don't want to ask you any questions because it is so wonderful. We want to just hear you keep playing. Um,
Yeah.
here's the some love coming in.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
here's a question from Shambu. He wants to know, what did you learn from studying from a genius like Paco?
I didn't study directly from him, but definitely Paco de Lucia was a big influence in our generation. Everything that came after Paco de Lucia was had such a big impact. His way of playing, um, just like any other huge artist that shows up in music history. He's a milestone. Just like for me, he's on the same level like Mozart or any of those great composers because they've done something new. And so I've been listening to his music since a very early age, of course. I gone through first through the traditional stuff, very old flamenco, to know the basics and the art form. But then eventually, of course, his playing was so appealing, so technical, so vivid, fast, and everything. And what I've learned from him, of course, everybody nowadays has adapted somehow his way of technical, the technique that he used, that approach towards the instrument, because that makes you just um, play very smoothly and allows you, if you practice enough, to be very fast and skillful with the guitar. But what was most important for me about his playing was the emotion behind everything he would use. It's not about playing fast; it's about which emotion he was expressing with a fast scale. He wasn't just a technical guy. He wasn't just playing. Brrr, he was playing. He would say something. Just like when you listen to Ravi Shankar, it goes up and down, up and down. It's not just like a linear thing, and that's when music and emotion comes in. So his concept, his emotional concept, I was always very attached by it. And then eventually, of course, I've learned many pieces. I've studied repertoire with his. But the point is, when I performed that Canción Andaluza, which is a very, very tough repertoire, and maybe some of the people who've been listening to the flamenco lovers, they haven't heard that album properly because it's not a typical Paco de Lucia album like we knew it with those fancy melodies. It's a very, very arranged and very, very dense album. Basically, he takes traditional songs from Andalusia that everybody knows, and and makes his guitar arrangements with it. And this was harmonically very tough because each bar had a different chord. Technically, it is on a super high level. Rhythmically, it is out there, and the arrangements, like harmony wise, how he would put the guitars together. So when we were practicing with Jose Maria Bandera, we were practicing some of the tunes, only the two of us. Eventually, later, we had a band going on. But when we were preparing that stuff, whenever I would do a mistake, I would kick him out, and whenever he would do a mistake, he would kick me out. So that really was like an engine where everything had to be in its place. And this shows so much about Paco's mind and Paco's accuracy, and more than copying or trying to play like him. It's adopting concepts that a maestro like this delivers and with which he uses to apply in his music. And eventually, of course, we all start somehow copying somebody, and people we love, because that's the way it comes. It's a chain, you know. You absorb something from somebody who was there before you, and you embrace it, and eventually you come up with your own melodies and with your own way of delivering it. You know, there is no doubt that in my playing, there might people might hear influences. You know, just like I don't know, you know, Miles Davis when he was playing with Charlie Parker.
Yeah.
You know, you never know. Everybody has influences, so it's beautiful. You know, even Paco had amazing influences by Nino Ricardo, the guy's his maestro, and also the sound of Sabicas, this old kind of sound. You can hear that in his early playing, and then when he grew up and he mixed it with other harmonies, that's when he started to change things. And that's what we do nowadays. We mix it with, we take that, we still do the same process. We take the traditional sound and we try to mix it with music and sounds that we're exposed to nowadays and that I like. You know, I listen to a very huge variety of music. It can go from Rachmaninoff's Second Symphony to trance beats over to death metal, over to
Yeah.
glam rock, and then to funk, whatever. You know, I mean, everything that gives me goosebumps and it makes my heart go like, oh, this is beautiful. You know, this is what I like doing.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks for that great reply and very philosophical reply too. We can all think about and meditate on that. What would you like to do next?
I would like to play something on the bouzouki because I've been many years back. I started out as a kid playing the Arabic oud and the flamenco guitar. These were two instruments and two music styles that my parents and that I was exposed to. My mom is from South America, so the South American folklore as well. But you know, flamenco, classical music, and Oriental Arabic Middle Eastern music was my thing. That's what the music I was grown up with, and so eventually, in 1998, I joined this very famous world music band in Spain. They're the, they're the legends of world music. They're called Radio Tarifa, and they actually, with them, come when they came on the market. That's when the term world music came up with. You know, there was a journalist from the BBC who was writing an article, and he used that term talking about Radio Tarifa. And since then, I toured a lot with them for 10 years. We did amazing, like repeatedly, endless world tours. And the repertoire was based on Mediterranean music, North African, Middle Eastern, flamenco, and South American. So that was the perfect repertoire for me to engage with because that's what I've been going through since a young boy. And but I had to learn to play new instruments for that repertoire. So I came to Spain playing the oud, the flamenco guitar, and the electric guitar, which I had learned in Germany. But then I had to learn to play the banjo for North African sounds because people don't know maybe, or maybe they know, of course they know, the banjo actually came originally from Africa. And they use it a lot, a banjo type instrument in Algerian music, Kabyle music. And so I had to learn the banjo, the bouzouki. There's beautiful called area you have. And I found this love for string instruments, and that's how I got engaged with all those instruments. And those instruments would lead me to listen to different repertoires. So I've been listening to classical Indian music, to repertoires from Persia, from Turkey, from the Middle East, from North Africa, African music, and all you know, Rembetic music from Greece, and Balkan style music, all these odd numbers, you know, 7/8, 9/8, 11/8, all those very cool rhythms, and and that's how I got into the world. It was never a plan of me to become a multi instrumentalist. You know, I somehow started out with three instruments, which is multi already, but all these instruments came into my life due to respond to repertoires I had to play. And as I said before, I like to take risks and I like to just learn new things. And that eventually has helped me to evolve as a musician and has helped me to establish a career with so many people and not only stay in one niche, but I've played in so many venues, from the smallest discotheque to the biggest venues, and it has been just bliss for me, and it has been all through music and through my interest in other instruments.
Beautiful. Vamos.
Okay, let's go. Um, I will shut just for a moment the Instagram because I need my phone for the
Okay.
Indian kind of backing sound. Okay, I'll
Bye,
be back.
Instagram. All right.
So. Is this good? was like a crossover mix of all the notes on a bouzouki.
That's so good.
I just like to get to inspire myself by sounds. Um, of course, I'm not a. I don't play strict traditional classical music from India, nor um, I
Can't
intend to.
hear you. The
But
applause is too much.
they're applauding.
We also got something for you. Hold on. Let me do this
Okay.
here.
Oh, I like that. Flowers.
Get my mom's flower
Power.
arrangement.
Flower power. More important than ever. Very good.
I also that's my mom's flower arrangement that you get. Um,
Okay.
Also, I wanted to just let you know that we ask the audience. We like to hand out prizes here on the audience from the audience, and on behalf of everyone at the Quarantine Concert Series, we want to give you something that we give out very rarely. This is a very high honor. You can put this on your website and list it on your resume and stuff. We'd like to give you the Panda Trophy. The Panda Trophy. There it is. It's given the Panda Trophy. Congratulations.
Oh, that's amazing. Please give me the pen. Yeah, I like that. They're peaceful, They're peaceful.
They
They're
are
great.
peaceful. They're
Yeah.
peaceful. Very beautiful. We also just want to let you know we do have a word of the day winner, a new champion. We had a 11-time defending champion, but we have a new champion. Let us congratulate Maestro. You and I congratulate the new word of the day winner, Maria Diaz Sanchez is the word of the day winner. Congratulations, Alba.
Beautiful. Nice
Good
one.
job, Maria. Now the question remains: can you defend your crown on the next episode? It's up for grabs. So we will see. We only have a minute or so, a couple minutes left. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was trying to show my affection and applause for your incredible artistry. You were saying something. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, I was just, I don't pretend to be a classical Indian musician, but I like to take sounds and elements, and I just use it my way and in the approach I see my own music and the way I combine stuff, and eventually come up with something different, something new that also can inspire other people.
Exactly. That's well said. Everyone who's watching, please check out his website, amirjohnhaddad.com. Also check him out on Instagram and Facebook. His beautiful new album, which came out just a couple months ago, Andalusia, or do you say it with the Andalusia? Is that how you say it?
Andalusia, yeah, that's what they say.
Andalusia.
But even there's regions in south of Spain they would say Andalusia.
Got it.
It
All right, I'll stick with
depends.
that. Andalusia. So check out his beautiful. You heard he's a genius. So just check it out and share it widely. Buy anything. Go to his website. There's a lot of great pictures and photos and videos. And this is just, of course, a taste of his incredible artistry. Thank you for being on the show, Maestro.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and it's a pleasure to play for your whole community, and and make the lockdown just a little bit to ease it up, because I know I have friends in Minneapolis. They've shown me some crazy footages of things that don't appear in news, and they sent you videos that they recorded 1 o'clock at night. What's happening on the streets, and it's really sad. So I'm really out there with all the people who have suffered so far, and around the world definitely. So hang in there, and hopefully music and art and creation will give you peace of mind.
Well said. Well said. Before we go, I want to thank the great sound crew who helps us every day.
Yeah,
Thank
Camilo
you.
and Sandra.
Yeah, Camilo and Sandra, thanks for all the work. Let's put up their website. If you're an artist out there that needs any music services, check them out. Soundworksrecording.com. Mention one of their two dogs, Oreo or Maui. You will get a discount. And gotta keep the love going to the engineers and artists, great creative professionals, everyone involved. Great show tonight. Screen. That's Oreo. How are you guys doing? Oh, it's just a still. Those are the dogs, Oreo. Oh, there they are. They're there. There are critics. I think they love the music. How you guys doing?
It's good. They're not saying anything. That's, I don't know if it's good or bad.
No, it's good. They're listening very intently. Listening very
Yeah,
intently.
yeah, yeah. Amazing.
Um, very good. We have a great show tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern. The great Monique Brooks Roberts on violin, and then tomorrow, um, some great guitar Andres Vadim, and then Manny Gonzalez, who stars in Hamilton. She will be our 99th episode, our penultimate episode in the evening. So stay with us at 10 p.m. Eastern tonight. And if you can, stay home. Everyone have a great, great weekend. Goodbye, everyone.